Hey YouTube land, it's Tychonders here doing another action figure review, and now this time it's for another one of the Batman Missions, 2018 Batman Missions. Actually, I think it's a 2019 figure, but it's Batman Missions Sonar Suit Batman. Now, here's the figure in question. Before I go on about the figure, I'll just go briefly on about the packaging. So, in front of us is two card backs. And one is for the Riddler and the other one is for the Batman from this wave. As you can see, they both share the same card back, because one is supposed to be Riddler on one side, Batman on the other. I'll go into a bit of detail in a minute for the card back, because I want to point out a few things. If I flip around the front, the only differences on the front of the card is the name of the character, and in the corner bottom left for Batman there's just the Batman Missions, but on the bottom left of the Riddler one you see it goes to a sort of green and has the Riddler's infamous question mark as part of the back. So I'm going to flip this back around for the artwork and move the other card out of the way and bring in the figure. So here is Batman in all his glory, or as they tend to have in the alternate languages, it's like be me or something like that. I think it's supposed to be Russian, or it could be Slovakian, I'm not too sure. Multilingual anyway. So for measurement, he stands just a little hair over 6 inches because of the points of his ears. And he comes with 3 accessories. So the first accessory he comes with are these tiny little gummy rubber goggles. There's no glass in the eyepieces. It's just pure rubbery plastic, and it just slips over his head. And depending on how you line it up, you can get it to see through the eyes of his cowl. And there's one of the other accessories. He comes with 2 of these identical kind of blade effects is probably the best way to describe them. Some sort of electronic or electrical arc sort of thing, like a zap. There's like the sculpting work is kind of metal, solid kind of metal handle with kind of an arc, electrical arc bouncing off it, or like an ice almost piece. Which brings me on to the figure and the card art. So if I just move the camera into the card art, you can see the figure is a good bit different to what is depicted on the card art. Now, this seems to be the only time, I could be wrong, but from what I've seen of the other card art and other figures from this line, this seems to be the only instance where the figure packed does not seem to resemble what's shown on the card art. A lot of the figure is what's shown, but there's a good lot of differences. As you can see, there's a kind of wingsuit or wing backpack type thing on him, which he doesn't have. When I first got this, I thought the 2 blade things combined and plugged into the back, but they don't. Sculpt wise, he's quite different as well. So his chest piece is exactly what's shown. You can see where the lights are on the artwork. You can see they're there on the actual body piece. It has this kind of sculpted tech stuff on. He doesn't have a belt, so unlike the card art, which doesn't depict a belt, he actually has a belt. And then it brings me to the arms. So on the card art, it looks like either he was supposed to have this kind of clip-on kind of stuff that goes over the spikes on the arm, or they were supposed to be sculpted. He doesn't have this. They're actually I think they're a reuse of one of the other figures' gauntlets. So it looked like there was kind of these wing pieces that would clip over the gauntlet, but they don't have it. His shoulders do look the same. The legs, for the most part, look somewhat similar to the card art. He has more triangular shaped knee pads, so it is possible that these legs are different again. What is also interesting, if I flip them around to the back of the figure, you can see where the rest of the cowl goes. There's actually a big peg and there's actually a peg hole going through his cloak or his cape, so it does look like he was intended to have this kind of thing that clipped onto his back, but it never was released with him. He also has, on the goggles, they're slightly different. They have like a more glass. It looks like they probably were going to go with a sculpted goggles head, but then changed their mind last minute and just packed in these goggles with him instead. But for the most part, he seems to be the standard articulation of any of the other Batman figures from this line. So arms can go out that much, can rotate all the way around, can bend little less than 90 degrees, can go out that much. It has a swivel at the elbow as well, swivel in the wrist, hinge in the wrist. You can get some good motion. Waist swivel, which is hindered by these this belt. It looks like it wasn't intended to have the belt, and then they just added it afterwards as an afterthought. Legs can go forward that much. Single joint in the knee, nothing in this, no swivel in the knee, and nothing in the ankle, and 2 peg holes on the bottom of the feet. And as I said, just looking at the detail, if I flip up the back, it has a DC Comics S18 printed on it. I'm not sure if you can see that. I'm assuming it's supposed to depict 2018. And then, oh, his head is also on the ball joint. It's easier to turn without the cowl, or without the little stuff on it. But it can't do a full 360 because it's hindered by this cowl piece, or by the shoulder piece. But it can do a 360. Sorry, it could do a 360 if it wasn't hindered. Not much in the range of up and down, very limited. And he does hold those bladed parts. He seems to hold them better on his right hand than on the left. They tend to drop out a lot on the left hand every so often, but you can hold them and you can get some kind of cool poses with them. So you can get kind of battle slashing action poses with them, depending on what you want to do. So just move back into kind of a default position. Just bring my camera back a bit. So that is the Batman from this particular wave, and here is the Joker from this particular wave. They seem to be going with a sort of translucent theme, especially for Riddler. So it looks like the Batman might have been intended to be translucent as well, but instead they opted for a solid body and painted in this section. Like the way it looks on the card art, it looks like the lower bottom half of this waist was going to be translucent, and you would have been able to see kind of details in it. But I think they changed it last minute, which seems to indicate why the artwork, card art, is completely different to the figure in hand, or at least quite different to the figure in hand. So just for another comparison, I will bring in, so I have him close to hand, the Batflick Batman. This is the multiverse figure, so he's a little bit taller than 6 inches. These Batman Missions are supposedly 6-inch line, but they're a hair smaller. There's like very small discrepancies between some of them. The Batman from Dawn of Justice is tall enough for a figure, but I think he's about 6.5, if I remember correctly. Measuring tape for him. Yeah, he's about 6.5 inches, so he's a little bit over the 6-inch mark. And then, because she's close to hand, let's move Riddler over a bit. Here is the Harley Quinn from Suicide Squad. So you can see she's a little around the same height as Batman, but there's not much in the difference. The Batman from the Batfleck Batman, or Ben Affleck Batman, seems to be a bit taller than most of the figures, or it's just the way he's bulkier than most figures and just looks taller. But there you go. So all in all, it's not a bad figure. I know there's quite a lot of Batman variants out there for this particular line, the Batman Missions lines. There's, I can't even remember half of the ones that they released. I know there's one that has like strapping along the body. and the paint deco kind of looks similar to the old 66 style, the grey and blue. There's the all black one, then there's like a silver kind of one with silver accents and stuff like that, so there's quite a bit of different Batman figures out there for this line. And there's also, from what I've seen, there's a Two-Face and a Bane on the way, so hopefully I can pick those up and do a review for those for you. So there you go guys, quick video review for the Sonar suit Batman from the Batman Missions line. Not a bad figure, decently priced line, so it is worth picking them up if you're a fan. They do look good on the shelf together, even if it's a bit of a gimmicky Batman suit. Some of the other figures in the line look really good. I mean, Riddler does look quite good. I do wish he wasn't translucent though. That's my only gripe about him. I think he would have made a cool figure if he was a solid green, and I could have sworn there was a version of him that was solid green, but it could have been just the prototype image. But there you go. As I say in my videos, please feel free to like, comment and subscribe to my channel, and I will try and reply to as many comments as I get. And as I say, I hope you enjoyed my videos. Cheers!